Hello and welcome to Nasscom Insight. I'm Nirmala Balakrishnan and I'm delighted to host today's conversation. As organizations accelerate their AI ambitions, one reality is become increasingly clear. AI is only as powerful as the data that powers it. While enterprises continue to invest in advanced AI technologies, many are discovering that fragmented information, legacy systems, and unstructured data remain significant barriers to realizing meaningful business value. Building AI-ready enterprises today is no longer just about adopting new technologies, it's about creating trusted, connected, and well-governed information foundations. In today's LeaderTalk podcast, we will explore how organizations can unlock the true power of data, transforming fragmented information into a strategic enterprise asset, enabling AI at scale, strengthening governance and trust, and preparing for the next generation of intelligent, data-driven enterprises. I'm pleased to be joined by Arvind Subramanian, Executive Vice President, Global Enterprise Strategy and Incubation, and Managing Director, India at Iron Mountain. Arvind brings more than 3 decades of leadership experience across enterprise strategy, business transformation, consulting, and operations. Throughout his career, he has led large-scale organizations, driven business growth, and helped enterprises navigate complex transformation journeys across diverse industries. Before joining Iron Mountain, Arvind served as MD and CEO of Mahindra Life Spaces. Welcome, Arvind, and it's a pleasure to have you with us today. So, jumping into our questions, let's start with understanding the AI readiness gap that we foresee. Organizations are investing heavily in AI, yet many initiatives struggle to deliver meaningful business outcomes. In your view, what is the biggest misconception and to have about being AI ready?
I think it's important to understand that AI readiness starts with information readiness rather than technology readiness. Very often, companies that are excited to get onto the AI journey start by implementing a lot of AI tools, but those are all premised on having your information organized, accessible, well-governed, and to me, that is always the starting point. So therefore, data readiness should precede any technology readiness that an enterprise embarks on.
We have also heard that data is a new fuel, right, for AI. Yet, for many organizations, critical information remains fragmented across legacy systems, unstructured documents, and archives. So how does this impact enterprise AI adoption, and where do you see organizations struggling the most?
That's so true. In fact, we often say that enterprises don't have a data problem. Most enterprises are swimming in data. What they have is a visibility problem. As much as 90% of the data within any enterprise tends to be what we call dark, which means they are either siloed in legacy systems, they are in formats that are not easily readable, they are in fragmented databases. And that's where I think the work needs to be done to prepare yourself for an AI-led transformation. How do you bring this large pool of information together in a manner that is democratized, accessible, well-governed, and structured? To me, that's the starting point really of the journey.
Yeah, you just covered that, from if you're trying to go from data to business value, once the organization recognizes the challenge of, getting your data structured, what should their key priority and how can they actually transform these years of disconnected information that they have gathered into trusted AI-ready data that actually creates business value? Can you share some insights on that?
Yeah, so firstly, I think like we've been discussing, it's important to acknowledge and recognize that the AI transformation is really a business transformation before it is a technology transformation. And what do I mean by that? Every part of the business needs to understand what data it is sitting on, what is relevant out of that data. So go through a very systematic exercise to organize its data and then feed that into the AI systems that it is developing. many organizations are able to launch lots of exciting pilots. They see results, they get enthused to then scale it up. But that's where they end up faltering and tripping on themselves. And that's because they don't have an enterprise-grade AI platform that allows them to govern the entire process. So to me, the first step is about thinking of it as a business transformation journey rather than a technology transformation journey. And in order to scale from pilots to full-scale solutions and impact, the governance aspect of the entire journey is very important.
And can you share any example where this, improving data readiness has helped an organization unlock this measurable business value, created larger impact? It could be either through faster decision making, operational efficiencies, the compliance part, which is so important, or even through AI adoption and any data to actually measure that impact. What has the biggest outcome been of such an AI adoption process that they've gone through?
Yeah, so let me take two different customer examples, work that we have recently done, which has come at this problem from very different angles. The first is a regional bank in North America, and this is actually a high-growth, digital-first bank. And you would imagine that a new technology, digital-led bank would have all its data problems sorted out. But in fact, that is not the case, because a lot of their data was trapped in many different systems that were not talking to each other. So we went in and helped them connect the various pools of data, understand what data is relevant, what data is not. We implemented Iron Mountain's Policy Center and information governance solutions at this regional bank. And what turned out was that as much as 20% of their data was either redundant, obsolete, or trivial, and which could be purged. So not only did they get their data more organized and become ready for their AI transformation, in the process, they were also able to reduce the load of storage that they were otherwise encountering. So it almost became like a self-funding program. The savings through storage reduction started funding a lot of their AI transformation initiatives. So that's kind of one example where the benefits are very tangible. The second, and I'll take the example of Kyndryl, which when Kyndryl separated, as you know, Kyndryl is a very large global IT infrastructure company. When it separated from IBM, they had to deal with a huge complexity of data, right? This is a globally spread out organization, over 1,800 applications running in 50 different data centers across the world, and multiple systems running parallelly. And their immediate problem that they faced was, how do I get my data audit ready? That was their stated problem. How do I make my data available to auditors, compliant, etc.? So we went through all the jurisdictions that they needed to comply with. There were, multiple countries, over 60 different regulations, and we were able to distill it into 93 business rules, which helped us then again organize their data based on retention rules, schedules, etc. And in the process of making their data audit ready, they actually ended up getting the benefit of also being AI ready, because it was the same discipline that we were going through to organize their data. So this is kind of two different examples and business benefits that two of our customers have derived in the recent past.
It's very interesting, but that also leads to my question: when you're dealing with verticals like banking, BFSI, where the data is so secure and confidential, so what does a trusted or secured information foundation look like, and how should organizations balance greater data accessibility with governance and risk management? Because that is, I guess, one of the key pillars, building trust into enterprise data. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so in fact, this is so topical in India, right, with the Act formulated and the rules coming into force, etc. I think we have to look at all of these as almost like a coupling. So trust comes before accessibility in some ways. You have to be able to build trust in the data. And to me, trusted information has to precede trusted infrastructure. Very often, CIOs, etc., spend a lot of time thinking about how do I build trusted infrastructure, security, the CISO comes into the picture, etc. But the same questions apply to information as well. Accessibility itself has to come, like we spoke about earlier, with governance. So you want information, the relevant data to be available to the users within the enterprise who can apply AI tools to them. But at the same time, it has to be governed so that you're using the right data, you're protecting privacy, any PII data is redacted, and all of those things. So those get coupled, almost joined at the hip in terms of accessibility and democratization of data, but at the same time, governance of data. Coming out of that directly is the whole question about compliance. How do you make sure you're compliant with all the rules? In India, DPDP is very topical, but GDPR in Europe and various other similar regulations across the world. How do you make sure that you are on the right side of all these regulations and laws? And finally, all of this has to be, the only way to achieve this is to orchestrate this on an enterprise-grade data management platform, like Iron Mountains inside DXP, which allows you to really scale and do this at an enterprise grade.
This is actually just, segueing into the thing that India is currently very uniquely positioned. If you see, we have data center capacity with the kind of data overload that is there. India's data center capacity is could nearly triple by 2030, and it's also supported by over 700,000 GPUs. And there is also so much of AI-led investments that is coming into India. But just to understand, what is your thoughts regarding this, what this momentum signals about India's opportunity to become a global AI infrastructure hub? What kind of strength from talent, digital infrastructure to policy and investments do you think will give the country a competitive edge, or what can we do better?
Yeah. So I think we have many things going for us in the country in terms of data adoption and AI adoption. I was reading a statement by OpenAI recently that India is the second largest user base for them globally, and that says a lot, right? In terms of downloads of GenAI applications, India is already the largest across the world if you take all the GenAI applications, and this is largely being fueled by the smartphone. A lot of the accessibility is on the smartphone. We know that there's over 900 million mobile data users in India, most of them already on smartphones or near smartphones. So the data is abundant. And if one were to look at recent history on things like digital payments, where India accounts for over 40% of fast digital payments globally, there's no reason why the same will not get replayed in the world of AI and smart information search and processing. From a supply perspective, there are, again, many things going for India. Power is becoming a big constraint for building data centers in mature markets. India is actually, at least at the national level, now starting to be surplus from a power perspective. Of course, there are local pockets where we are still deficient, but at a national macro level, India is power surplus. Importantly, renewable energy in India is cheaper than conventional thermal energy, conventional sources of energy. So that is a huge positive as well. In many other countries, that is not the case. Renewable tends to be a cost, an additional cost to the data center operator. And third, I would say every state is competing with the other states to attract data center investments, because they see this as a big driver of their technology leapfrog in the years to come. So from a policy and political economy perspective, it is also seeing a lot of tailwinds for investment in this sector. So I think the estimate that is out there of our capacity growing threefold in the next till the end of this decade, the demand we are seeing from our customers is much more than that. And this mirrors our own journey. So we've been so far we have about 14 megawatts of operational capacity in India, but operations in the next few years, and our ambitions don't stop there. We would like to grow much faster than that, because we see sufficient demand and attractive economics.
And what about, everybody is talking about the agentic enterprise, and as your autonomous AI agents begin to retrieve information, make recommendations, execute business processes, again, the importance and the governance of enterprise data will become even more consequential. So, what capabilities should organizations build to ensure their information infrastructure is ready for an increasingly agentic future, which is what we say that the future is going to be. So what is it that they should focus on?
Yeah, again, I might sound like a stuck record, but trusted information before trusted agents, because you can only trust your agent if they are working on the right information that you trust. I would say governance, it's a theme that keeps coming up, and it's really important to ensure that data governance is in place and very solid. The third would be to prepare for intelligent discovery of data. The whole beauty and power of AI is that, unlike in the past where one had to set up relational databases where you almost knew how the data was going to be used, so the various relationships had to be set up. Now what you're trying to do is extract data and allow the agentic systems and the AI to discover what is relevant data. So to have your data architecture in a way that allows the systems to connect the dots rather than you having to hardwire those connections before implementing any technology solutions. I think that's the third aspect of it. And all of this then lends itself to trusted automation. And for trusted automation, you need a full stack offering from a AI technology platform, from a data layer, from an infrastructure layer to the data layer to the application layer. All of these need to be enterprise grade. So to me, that's kind of the journey that companies in India will need to go through.
Coming to my last question, anything that you are looking forward to? What is it that, if you're doing a crystal ball gazing, what do you think that in the next 2 to 3 years, what are you very gung-ho about for India, and with all the AI disruptions that are coming in, what do you see the future would be specifically for our sector?
Look, I think India is poised for tremendous leapfrog in the next years to come. We've seen that from a connectivity perspective with the spread of mobile telephony and smartphones and data usage on the smartphones. We've seen that, like we talked about on payments, the next revolution is going to come in sectors like, I believe, in healthcare and in education. Education, again, is topical for the wrong reasons today, but applying technology to it, to testing, to certifications, to skilling, not just as a one-time exercise, but on an ongoing basis, to me is the way forward for a country with the kind of population we have and the demographics that we have. So I think the potential for technology and specifically AI is enormous in driving the economy overall. It's not just about driving the technology sectors. These are developmental questions, economic growth questions that the country faces, where AI can provide a significant accelerator.
Thank you so much for sharing these insights. Actually, with the kind of data that India is sitting on, we have to actually get that story right. How do you get it all right to go into the next level of growth? So thank you once again for sharing your insights. One of the message that clearly stands out from this is that, you talk about AI transformation. It should actually start long before any organization deploys AI. It begins with building the trusted foundation of data that you just spoke about. And as enterprises look to scale AI, improve decision making, unlock new business value, success will increasingly depend on how effectively they organize, govern, and activate this information assets. And I think every stakeholder in the ecosystem plays a very key and important role in this. So thank you once again for taking time to speak to us, and thank you to our audience for tuning in. If you found this discussion valuable, do follow Nasscom Insights on LinkedIn, X, YouTube and Instagram, and join our Nasscom community for more leadership conversations, industry perspectives, and research-driven insights on the trends shaping the future of technology. We'll be back soon with another conversation. Thank you for watching.